Hello, how are you? So there's the exam on the July 15th. How's your prep coming along? Um, I'm pretty sure you must be pretty well prepared by now, but just for the sake of it, I've put together some tips and tricks that you can use for the exam, just for the sole purpose of brushing, some key techniques. And watch this video a little bit closer to the exam date, or now, or multiple times, doesn't really matter. So use them, and I hope you get 8 plus band in your exam. So when it comes to reading, there are 5 things you want to keep in mind. First of all, keep a pen or pencil handy, and when you're reading through the paper, underline the important keywords, underline or circle the important bit of information. That way you can create a map of what you are reading. So, if you have to kind of go back to it, you know exactly where to go. Second, skimming and scanning. Use these techniques extensively, okay? But what you want to keep in mind is every technique is as good as how well you use it. Because, for example, if it's yes, no, not given, or true, false, not given type of questions, use skimming and scanning to find the area where the answer might be. But don't use it to find the right answer in comparing information. Keep that in mind. You want to use skimming and scanning just for the sole purpose of locating the general area where the answer might be. Okay? Now, moving on, and this is how it adds to yes, no, and not given question type. So if you have that kind of question that comes up, so do skimming and scanning, but once you have located the information, slow down, read carefully what's written in the passage and compare it to what's given in the question. Look for synonyms, look for antonyms, and of course, avoid any kind of assumptions. Whatever you know about the topic, it's irrelevant, it doesn't matter. It's more so what's given in the passage itself and what it says, okay? And of course, look for qualifiers, for example, qualifying verbs. So those you want to keep in mind because they change the way the answer sounds, okay? So keep an eye out for those. And of course, synonyms and antonyms, they'll really help you out. When it comes to true, false, and not given, tackle them such. First of all, read the question carefully. Underline the keywords. Okay, keyword selection is essential. Then skim and scan, find the location where the answer might be. Once you've done that, read carefully. Compare the information with the question, look for synonyms, look for antonyms, and if the answer matches exactly, it's true. If it's opposite of what the answer says, it's false. If you don't find the answer, just mark not given and move along. Good chance it's just not given there. So don't waste your time. And when it comes to MCQs, a lot of people are struggling with multiple choice questions. Topic sentences, man. Here's how you manage those, okay? First of all, look at topic sentence of the passage of the paragraph. See if you can find the answer there. It's not there. Weird. Where could it be? Go to the conclusion sentence. That's right. Go to the last sentence of the paragraph. See if the answer is there. Sometimes the way they put the information in the exam is the conclusion sentence would kind of like move things up to the next, coming paragraph. So you might think that, oh, the answer's not here. So you might get tricked into looking into the paragraph below. So don't do that just yet. If you don't find the information, the topic sentence and the conclusion sentence, move to the body of the paragraph. That's where the answer will be. So look for the answer there, and then, focus on, of course, keyword selection, synonyms. That's how you will find those answers. So these are some things you might want to keep in mind for reading, okay? Now, let's kind of move on ahead for writing. So when it comes to writing, first of all, writing task 2, it's more important than task 1. Nonetheless, task 1, you have to do it too because, it's a good chunk of your exam. So give more time to your writing task 2. Plan the essay before you start writing, okay? What you want to do is read the question carefully, analyze what is being asked of you, and then create a plan on what you will be saying, okay? List down the key ideas that you want to put in your essay. So have a list of ideas and, think do you want to put this in paragraph 1, paragraph 2? So, think about that. Once you've done that, That'll help you write an essay that's like, a good 8-7 band essay. Something to kind of keep in mind is vocabulary. Use academic vocabulary, don't use any informal vocabulary. The tone matters greatly in this thing, okay? Use a variety as well. Don't use repeating words, don't use the same words over and over again. That will help you lose points. Next, pay attention to grammar and spelling. So once you've written the essay, come back to it, look for any mistakes, fix those, and move on ahead. Of course, when you're writing your essay, manage your time efficiently. Keep a good watch on the clock so that you don't run into running out of time. So yeah, plan your essay, plan the time, and then write. And if you're running out of time and you don't think you have enough time to write the conclusion, just start a new paragraph and write 2 lines if you can, because even that itself, at least it's an excuse for a conclusion. It's still like a conclusion, right? So do write a conclusion. Don't just leave a conclusion as is. Start a new paragraph, a new line, and then just write the conclusion quickly if you run out of time. Finally, make sure your answers, your ideas, they are very well organized. They should flow. Use plenty of connectors. Okay, so you know that. Use that in your essays, right? Now let's move on to listening. When it comes to listening, first of all, ensure you've understood the instructions. Okay, so when they speak the instructions, listen carefully. Don't be looking around. Don't be looking at what your neighbor's doing, because that's like a one-way ticket to 5 band. Okay, don't get on that bus. You want 8.5 or 9. So stay focused. Don't lose focus. And when you're focusing on all these things, just put everything aside, solely focusing on the exam itself. So listen carefully for transition words, because that is where you will find key information, okay? And of course, transition phrases as well, because when they start connecting information, usually where you'll find like good chunk of the answers there. Of course, you also want to try to anticipate what the answer might be and where it might be coming up next. So look for that. Try to anticipate. Try to predict the answer. Okay? And of course, if you miss something, don't panic. Just let it go and move on ahead to the next bit. Okay? This is all you have to do for your listening. And of course, the first 10 questions are the easiest. So pay the most attention to those, because you do not want to lose any points there. Because the way the exam kind of progresses further, the harder it becomes. So the first part, you want to get it right, get the points. Finally, speaking. Now, when it comes to the speaking module, first of all, listen carefully to the examiner's questions. If the examiner is talking about your favorite color, don't talk about your neighbor's dog. That's just bad. Okay, that's rude as well, and you lose points. So listen carefully. Number 2, speak clearly, confidently, and loudly. Okay? Don't chew on your words. Don't lose energy by the end of the word, because that way it's hard for the examiner to understand what you might be saying. So speak out loud, be confident, and sit up straight, chin up, chest out, hands open. Don't do any of that. Don't do any of that. That's just bad things to do. Don't do those. Hands open like that. Put them on your lap and just relax. Okay, do that. And of course, when you are giving answers, give personal examples. Use those, because it'll make your answer more relatable and of course easy to talk about as well. And when you're speaking, make sure to make eye contact. Okay, so don't worry about anything else. And something to keep in mind for cue cards: if you go on speaking for more than 2 minutes and the examiner interrupts you, that's totally fine. Just don't speak less than 2 minutes, because then it's a little bit of an issue. Okay, so keep talking, don't worry about it. Another thing, focus on your intonation, the way, the tone, the way you speak. It should make sense. Sometimes what happens is we give an answer, but it sounds like we stopped halfway through. Don't do that. That's bad. It'll make you lose points. Don't lose points. So yeah, these are some things that I had prepared for you for the upcoming exam. If you have any questions, if you're struggling with something, there's still a little bit of time to go. Drop them in the comments. And hey, you know what? I'll just make another video on that. And of course, if you have any friends who have their exam upcoming, share this video with them so that, they can get up to speed as well and brush up on their techniques. And hey, you know what? Subscribe. We'll be putting out more information like this, which you will find useful, and it'll be fun. Well, good luck with your exam. I'll see you in the next video.